Hi everyone, it's Keegan from the True Reds, and I'm joined by my co-host Varun.
Yep, what's up, guys?
We're back, guys. We're back to preview the Manchester United versus West Brom game on Sunday. So the most recent game that we covered was a Manchester derby, um, and we're gonna avoid that game as much as possible. We lost 2-1. Whatever. We're gonna quickly move on and preview this West Brom game. So the two things that we're gonna talk about are who we would start up top, and we're going to talk about Eric Bailly's injury a bit because for those of you that do not know, he suffered, I think it was a knee injury, and he had to undergo surgery. He only recently undergo surgery, and he's going to be out for a very long time, as we are aware. So we're going to touch on those two things. Firstly, for starters, Varun, the big argument going into this is, as well as Lukaku's been playing, he costed those two goals against City, and even though he was able to bounce back midweek again with a goal against Bournemouth, do you think he should still continue starting?
Honestly, you just mentioned that he's playing well, and I think that's up for debate, intense debate, because from what I've seen is he's struggling to really get in the game, and I understand it's because like without Pogba over the last few games, like he needs Pogba, I think, more than like any of us know, because I think Pogba really like understands his game and makes a lot of space for him. Because without Pogba, he has to come more deep, and so I think that's where we're struggling. And the same thing with like Zlatan, he plays very similar, like both of them. With like without Pogba, how you coming back, that's I don't think okay. And so I think we should maybe uh, just stick with Lukaku, like let him go through, keep playing, and then maybe bring on Ibra as a sub, hopefully, some point in the game, just to see and how he is, and just to get him match fit, hopefully.
Right. Yeah, I guess I agree with you. I mean, just because of the fact that Ibra is now coming back from injury, I'd stick with Lukaku. But I disagree. I think Lukaku has been playing well. Like he's playing a lot better than what I expected him to. Like he actually drops back in defense. He helps. Yes, that's probably because Pogba's in there, but he at least works hard. I think the problem is
I mean, would you call what he did against City defending?
no. But what I'm saying, that's what I was gonna touch upon. Like you can tell he has a serious problem with his right foot. Both clearances that he fluffed, sorry, the clearance that he fluffed with his right was with his right foot, and you could tell that his right foot's really poor. Um, but I think that's just unlucky, man. In that situation against City, for your striker to be in that position, I think that's really unlucky. But at the end of the day, we deserve to lose. We can't sit here thinking, oh, we deserve to win that game because we didn't. We got absolutely abused. But yeah, talking now. Let's move on to the Eric Bailly issue. Um, how do you think the defense is gonna look from here? Because we played four at the back against um City, which I thought was a huge mistake. I thought we should have stuck with the three at the back. And we continued that four at the back against Bournemouth. Do you think he's gonna stick with a back four, or do you think Mourinho's gonna boom back to a back three?
I think that's a good question. I think away he might go back to the five at the back, because obviously we're away, and I think we play better on the counter with that. And so thinking of that, I think obviously in that team Lukaku would start because of the pace he provides over Ibra. But I think defense is pretty okay. I mean, we see Lindelof is picking up his performances nowadays. You see Smalling has played pretty well over the last 2 months. And Jones, he's kind of injury prone, but like we'll see how he is. Rojo's played okay considering he's coming back from a huge injury. So I think we're actually okay at center back. I think if Bailly comes back before the end of the season, we might have like too many good center backs, because I think right now I'm okay with like all of our center backs starting and playing, because I think they all have they're all on very similar levels, which I think is a good thing and a bad thing, because you never have that standout center back, and you never have that guy who's really like who you know you're gonna drop. And so I think in terms of the defense without Bailly, I think we'll be okay for the rest of the season. But I think Bailly's probably the one center back that I think all United fans would say is the one that we'd start every week. So I think that's big.
But wouldn't you agree that without Bailly, our defense is like without Bailly, every other defender we have is quite mediocre in your opinion? Like, because that's what I think. I don't think.
Yeah, so that's like that's what I said. Is like the fact that they're all so similar. You don't really have like the quality gap between them, and so I think we won't suffer because of his absence as much as like we'd suffer without how we suffered without Pogba. But I think that's just I think we'd be okay because we have so many like established first team center backs who would play for any other team in the Premier League. So I think that's why I think we're okay.
Yeah, one thing I just want to touch upon. I don't know if you want to add anything, but I feel that since Marcus Rojo's come back, he's really struggled to hit the heights of last season. And I don't know if that's just because when he came back, it didn't seem like the injury affected him at all. But I don't know, like he conceded that penalty. Um, oh my God, I forgot the game that he conceded the penalty against, but he conceded that penalty, which is quite stupid. He came off at halftime during City. I thought he was having a decent game, but he came off at halftime. He's just not looking like the same Marcus Rojo of last season, and hopefully he picks up his game because he is the most similar to Bailly in terms of they're both really aggressive types. And we need that because Smalling is a bit of a wuss. Same with like Lindelof and Jones he's not as aggressive as Rojo and Bailly, but those two are definitely our main aggressors, and I think we need one man like that in a back three or back four. Talking about back three or back four, we're gonna go to the predictions section now. So the teams that we're gonna think is gonna play as well as the score. So I'll kick it off because last prediction you kicked it off. I think the team for West Brom, because we are away, will be to three at the back, back to the three at the back for two reasons. One, because as Varun touched upon earlier, they're away, and two, they're struggling to have Alan Pardew in. So going from Tony Pulis to Alan Pardew is a major downgrade. So that's going to affect them mentally. So I think the team's going to be David De Gea, Valencia. Then the back three of Lindelof, Jones, and Smalling. At left back, Shaw played really well against Bournemouth, so I think he'll stay at left wing back. Although Ashley has been playing really well, I think he'll go with Shaw. Then in the midfield too, I think he'll go with Matic and McTominay because McTominay also played really well against Bournemouth. And then he's going to play Martial, Lukaku, and I think he's going to go with Lingard over Rashford.
Yeah, I think, honestly, pretty much the exact same team. I hope Shaw starts again. I think a player like Shaw, you need to keep playing him for form. I think he struggled so much over his 4 years here, 3-4 years. And I think it's really important to keep playing him as long as he can get some match fitness and keep up his performances. Because otherwise, I wouldn't see a future for him if he doesn't get into the first team and become a starter this year. I don't see him as a United left back in the future. And so I think, I have pretty much the exact same team as you, and I just hope Shaw starts over Young.
Yeah, well, I was reading somewhere saying that apparently there's gonna be a swap deal for Shaw, for Danny Rose, which I prefer Luke Shaw than Danny Rose. I just think Luke Shaw's really injury prone, but I think he's a better left back than Danny Rose. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But going into the predictions part now, Varun, anybody that United should look out for, and also what do you think the score will be?
I think it's going to be kind of difficult with the aerial presence of Rondon on our three center backs. I don't think none of them are very aggressive unless Rojo plays, and Lindelof I don't think is that good in the air from what I've seen, and so I'd probably say he from corners and set pieces there would be a really big threat. But I think we should be okay, hopefully, as long as we can contain them to just a few chances, and hopefully we can dominate the ball because I think that's what we need to do at the Hawthorns. And so I think if we do so and we play our game, play it well, I think we might win 1-0 or 2-1. I don't think it's gonna be a very high scoring game.
You think we can concede? I think it'll be 2-0. I'm gonna go with Lukaku double to bounce back against the haters. Anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little preview for the West Brom game. There are a lot of games coming up recently, so we'll try and keep it to the weekend games as much as possible. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to please like, comment, subscribe, all those good stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.